There is a strange phenomenon that happens once you start making decent money. You look around and you see everyone driving the same compact luxury SUVs. Everyone seems to be going on the same midsummer European vacations, wearing the same minimalist designer jewelry, and ordering the same $30 weekend brunches. From the outside, it looks like abundance. It looks like wealth. But if you look at the macroeconomic data behind those lifestyles, you find a completely different story. You find high-interest car notes, maxed-out credit cards used just to collect airline points they can't afford to pay off, and a deep underlying anxiety that a single missed paycheck would cause the entire house of cards to collapse. We live in an economy that is masterfully designed to strip you of your capital the second you earn it. It does this by weaponizing your identity. It convinces you that in order to be successful, you have to look successful. Over the last few years of auditing my own net worth and studying how wealth actually accumulates, I've realized that the line between the truly wealthy and the fake rich isn't defined by how much money they make. It's defined by a series of incredibly tiny, almost invisible daily habits. The fake rich build a lifestyle that services their ego. The truly wealthy build a system that buys back their time. If you are tired of the consumer treadmill, grab a notebook, take some notes, and let's break down the 11 tiny habits that separate these two worlds and how you can apply them to your own financial reset. Habit 1. The cost per use filter. Let's start with how both groups view a purchase. The fake rich look at the price tag. They see a $2,000 designer handbag or a $1,200 phone, and they ask themselves a single question. Do I have enough space on my credit card or in my checking account to buy this today? If the answer is yes, they buy it. The truly wealthy don't look at the upfront cost. They run a quick mental cost per use calculation. They will happily spend $300 on a high-quality pair of shoes they will wear 300 times a year, making the cost $1 per use. But they will completely ignore a $150 fast fashion jacket that they'll only wear twice before it loses its shape in the wash. They understand that cheap items are often the most expensive things you can buy because you have to replace them cyclically. Wealthy people value utility and durability over the dopamine hit of a logo. Habit 2. Decoupling self-worth from upgrades. This leads directly into the second habit, the ability to decouple your self-worth from the technology or vehicles you use. The fake rich are trapped in the upgrade cycle. The moment a new phone is announced or their 3-year car lease is up, they experience a strange form of social anxiety. They feel that if they keep using the older model, it signals to the world that they are slipping backward. The truly wealthy treat technology and vehicles like appliances. Do you upgrade your refrigerator every 2 years just because a newer model has a slightly better screen on the door? Of course not. It keeps your food cold. A truly wealthy individual looks at a 5-year-old car or a 3-year-old phone and thinks, this tool still executes its core utility perfectly. Keeping it allows the capital that would have gone toward an upgrade to stay in my index funds, compounding at 8%. Habit 3. The 48-hour dopamine buffer. One of the biggest leaks in a modern household budget isn't the fixed expenses like rent or insurance. It's micro-consumerism. The late-night online shopping, the impulse Amazon orders, the items added to the cart because you had a stressful day at work and wanted a quick hit of satisfaction. The fake rich buy at the peak of their emotional impulse. The truly wealthy build structural friction into their life. They use what I call a 48-hour dopamine buffer. When they see something they want online, they are forbidden from clicking buy. Instead, they add it to a list or leave it in the cart for 2 full days. What you'll find when you try this is that in 48 hours, the emotional spike dissipates. The dopamine wears off. More than half the time, you'll look at the cart and realize you didn't actually want the item. You just wanted the feeling of buying it. Habit 4. Investing. First, spending the leftovers. Most people use a very traditional, flawed formula for their monthly cash flow. They get paid, they pay their rent, they buy their groceries, they go out for dinner, and at the end of the month, they look at whatever is left over and try to save or invest it. The problem is, because of lifestyle creep, there is rarely anything left over. The truly wealthy invert this formula entirely. The absolute first hour after their paycheck hits their account, their wealth-building system takes its cut through automation. Money is pulled into index funds, high-yield savings accounts, or retirement vehicles before their human brain even has a chance to think about spending it. They don't try to discipline themselves to save. They build a system that makes saving effortless and spending what's left over entirely guilt-free. Habit 5. The loud budgeting boundary. This habit is perhaps the most uncomfortable because it involves social pressure. The fake rich are terrified of saying the words, "I can't afford that," or "That's not in my budget right now." They will agree to go to an expensive bachelorette party, a premium concert, or a 5-star dinner that they don't want to attend, simply to avoid the social discomfort of appearing financially restricted. They borrow from their future self to buy temporary social comfort. The truly wealthy practice what the internet has recently started calling loud budgeting, but it's a habit they've actually practiced for decades. They have absolutely zero shame about their financial boundaries. When proposed with an expensive, low-value social activity, they will calmly say, "That sounds amazing, but I'm maximizing my investment goals this quarter, so I'm going to sit this one out. Let's do a coffee walk next week instead." They understand that true friends don't measure the value of a relationship by the price of the venue. Habit 6. Protecting time over menial tasks. As wealth grows, your relationship with time must fundamentally change. The fake rich treat money as their most valuable resource and time as infinite. They will spend 3 hours driving across town to save $10 on a grocery item, or spend an entire weekend doing frustrating, low-skill manual labor that they hate just to avoid paying a professional. The truly wealthy understand that money is a renewable resource. You can always earn another dollar. But time is completely finite. Once they reach a certain financial baseline, they start aggressively using money to buy back their time. They outsource deep cleaning, they outsource lawn care, or they pay for convenience, not for luxury or status, but to clear their schedule so they can focus on high-yield skills, health, or their family. Habit 7. Sourcing out of high-yield media. Look at what occupies the attention of both groups during their quiet hours. The fake rich consume media designed to make them feel inadequate. Luxury lifestyle vlogs, unboxing videos, or social media feeds filled with curated wealth. This consumption triggers a subconscious desire to match that lifestyle, keeping them locked in a cycle of envy and spending. The truly wealthy focus on high-yield media. They read biographies of people who built sustainable systems, they listen to long-form economic deep dives, and they study consumer psychology. They aren't trying to see what others are buying. They are trying to understand the underlying mechanics of how the world works so they can position their capital ahead of the curve. Habit 8. The anonymity of true success. The fake rich use their clothing and their jewelry as a billboard to advertise their perceived tax bracket. They want you to see the logo from across the room. The truly wealthy appreciate the power of anonymity. They dress in what is now called quiet luxury, unbranded, high-quality garments that don't call attention to themselves. They drive vehicles that blend into the middle of the parking lot. They understand that true financial security is silent. The moment you advertise your wealth to the world through flashy displays, you invite unnecessary judgment, higher prices from contractors, and a constant stream of solicitations. They prefer to be rich in reality rather than rich in appearance. Habit 9. Buying assets that pay for liabilities. The fake rich buy luxury goods using their primary income. They get a bonus or a salary raise, and they immediately use that active income to take on a new monthly liability, like a luxury gym membership or a financed watch. The truly wealthy have a strict rule. Active income only buys assets. Assets buy luxuries. If a truly wealthy person wants a high-end luxury subscription or a premium item, they don't use their paycheck. They look at their portfolio and ask, "Do I have enough passive dividend income or yield from my investments to cover this monthly cost?" If the answer is no, they don't buy it yet. They force their investments to fund their lifestyle, ensuring their core net worth is never depleted by consumerism. Habit 10. The multi-year tech lifecycle. We talked about unlearning the phone upgrade treadmill, but the truly wealthy apply this macro view to all hardware and infrastructure. The fake rich treat tech like fashion. It expires every 12 to 18 months. The truly wealthy buy hardware with the explicit intent of running it into the ground over a 5 to 7 year life cycle. They don't look at a laptop as a status symbol to show off at a coffee shop. They look at it as a depreciating tool. By maintaining their equipment meticulously and refusing to upgrade until the machine physically cannot execute tasks, they save tens of thousands of dollars a decade. That kept capital stays in high-yield vehicles, quietly working for them instead of tech conglomerates. Habit 11. Hedonic adaptation. Arbitrage, the final and perhaps most powerful psychological habit, is understanding hedonic adaptation, the scientific truth that humans quickly return to a relatively stable level of happiness despite major positive upgrades. The fake rich try to outrun this curve by constantly upgrading their environment, buying bigger houses and shinier things, only to find the thrill fades in a matter of weeks. The truly wealthy use this to their advantage. They intentionally keep their baseline living standard one notch below what they can actually afford. Because they know a larger house or a luxury couch won't permanently increase their happiness, they choose the simpler option. This deliberate gap between their actual lifestyle and their maximum financial capacity is where true wealth is manufactured. It provides total psychological peace and an unstoppable savings rate. Building wealth isn't about a sudden stroke of luck or a massive lottery win. It is simply the compounded result of these tiny, unsexy daily decisions. It's choosing clarity over comfort, systems over impulses, and freedom over status. If you look at your own life right now and realize you've been leaning into some of the habits of the fake rich, don't be discouraged. We have all been conditioned by an aggressive consumer culture to think that way. Don't judge yourself. Our entire economic matrix is explicitly designed to keep you on that treadmill. The first step is simply auditing your behavior without judgment. This week, pick just one habit to change. Set up an automated transfer that moves $20 into an investment account the morning you get paid. Or implement that 48-hour cool-down list for your online shopping. Thank you so much for investing your most valuable resource, your time, with me today. Take care of your systems, protect your boundaries, and I will see you in the next deep dive.